Welcome back to ESBR Boxing's YouTube channel. We have just seen CALLUM stay undefeated, becoming the first man to defeat Fernando Vargas in Las Vegas tonight. Now, as an Irishman, you must be very happy. CALLUM Walsh dominant on the scorecards, to stay undefeated in what was a step up for him as well on paper. Yeah, thoughts on that one, please.
Yeah, as you say, with the Irish bias, definitely a good win. Yeah, step up for Callum Walsh tonight. Decent step up, and he dealt with it. He won convincingly. Maybe I don't know where the card's a bit too wide. I'm not sure. Especially the 190 card. I think that might be a bit too harsh, but yeah, I think he's the deserved winner. Yeah, Vargas gave a decent account of himself, but Walsh got it done. Wasn't perfect, still kind of sloppy elements of the performance. But yeah, job done. Um, Decisively there in that one.
Yeah, for sure. I think that this was obviously the chief support co-main event tonight to Canelo Crawford, whatever you want to call it. So I was hoping it would be more competitive, if I'm honest with you. And at the same time, yeah, I do think the scorecards were maybe a bit harsh on Vargas, but yeah, there was clearly only one winner. No, still only 24 years old, still a young man, but not really put that much of a foot wrong yet in his career. Do you think we're looking at a future world champion here?
See, it's an interesting one. You hit the nail on the head there, saying he's young, which is gives him room to improve, and he probably will improve, but. I don't know. It might surprise you with this, but especially being Irish, but I'm not hugely sold on him, on Callum Walsh. I just don't really see it with him yet. I don't know, something missing. I don't know, maybe his kind of sloppiness looks at times that he's maybe fights within himself. I don't know, but yeah, plenty of time to improve, to kind of sharpen his skills. There is potential there, and he's passed tests with relative ease up to now, but I think skills wise, he does have to improve, and especially in the 154-pound division, it's a shark tank. It's one of the best divisions in boxing at the minute, if not the best. It's probably my favorite division in boxing. So I think the current landscape of world champions, he's far from ready for that, in my opinion, although there's no real shame in that. But plenty of time, in future years when the big dogs of the division are gone, belts maybe become vacated. Callum Walsh steps up through the levels. I think he does have potential, but I think in terms of calling him a future world champion now, I just think it's far too early. But the potential is there. Plenty of time, and yeah, I think he possibly could do it in
Mm.
a few more years.
Yeah, as you mentioned, I just think it's sometimes somebody won't become a world champion. It's not because they're not good enough. It's because of what's around them. And at the moment, you've got Murtazaliev as an IBF world champion who kind of nobody wants to fight, even though he does hold a belt. Sebastian Fundora, Virgil Ortiz, Duran Ennis is obviously in that division now. It's a tough division. Whereas maybe if you look at below, you look at 147, the division's not as strong. Um, so we'll see. I think he's 24 years old. I'm excited by Callum Walsh. I'm excited to see kind of what he does over the next 12 months and what routes he does as well. So kind of couldn't help but have a look at the rankings. He's ranked in the top five in the IBF and the WBC. So it's going to be interesting to see how ambitious his team are. Just to kind of round off now, just to kind of have a bit of fun with you. We kind of we saw a Northern Irishman against an Irishman earlier tonight and paid on with Lewis Crocker. Um, do you think we could see Callum Walsh face a fellow Irishman? Like, do you think that could happen? Because I feel like Paddy Donovan could choose to move up. Kevin Ajarko is another name as well, who's at 154 now, who had a great win tonight against Ishmael Davis. Those would be big fights. Callum Walsh obviously seems to be fighting in the US, but I would hope it wouldn't be outrageous to suggest that those fights are possible. Where do you sit with those two fights, the Kevin Ajarko fight and the Paddy Donovan fight?
You've taken the words out of my mouth with the Ajarko fight. That's the fight for me that I'd like to see. You can call me biased. You can call me maybe I have the Irish rose tinted glasses on, but I think that's a really good fight. Have it in Ireland. Um,
Mm,
Really exciting contest to have in Ireland. I think it's the right time for Jarko, and I think it'll be the right time for Callum Walsh. It's a winnable fight for both of them. Big test for both of them. Say does good numbers over here, and yeah, I'd love to see that. As you say, the kind of possibility of it happening, who knows? But I think that's the name for me. Myself and Elliot Grieg reacted to the Ajarko fight earlier on tonight, and I said the same. After that, I said Callum Walsh. I'd
mm,
love to see him in with. So, yeah, that's the fight for me. In terms of the other options, Crocker and Donovan, it's not kind of an avenue that I thought about until you mentioned it, but maybe that could be a possibility. That'd be also another huge night for Irish boxing. But I think Crocker and Donovan, I'd like to see them handle their business first. 147. Crocker has a world title now. Paddy Donovan, who knows whether to be a trilogy there or unifications for Crocker, but I'd like to see them kind of handle that first. I think that's a bit away. But Ajarko, I'd pull the trigger on the Ajarko fight. It was mooted. It was kind of rumored for a few months ago, about a year ago. It was mooted to kind of maybe happen. I think now is an even better time for it to happen than when it,
mm.
when it was originally rumored.
Yeah, for sure. And thinking about it, why not make that fight now? Because we've seen Mick Conlan fight in Dublin last week in a successful event and fight that he won as well. We've seen a fantastic event taking place in Northern Ireland tonight. Keelan Jarku has wanted to main event for a while now, I believe. So why can't we see that? Why can't we see that on a February, March time, 2026, but maybe in Belfast, maybe in Dublin? I just don't see why not. Ajarko is ranked well in the other governing bodies that Callum Walsh isn't. So yeah, I'm not sure what it would be for, but it would mean that the winner of that fight would be in a better position to fight for a world title than beforehand, maybe. So yeah, I'm all for it. And if that fight gets made, then we'll have to kind of post this video on social media and take some credit for it. Now, good to be joined by you as always. Thank you for your time, and I'll speak to you again soon.
Cheers, take care.